What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Honda Recap. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and that bell. We'll get right into this. I got some cool new stuff to talk about. I got a cool topic I kind of want to roll into. Welcome back. What's cracking, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Honda Recap. If you're watching this right now, make sure you hit that like button. It really helps me. It helps the channel grow and helps everything when you guys leave a comment. I love the fact how poppin' the chat room is at all times in Premiere. It really warms my heart, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. And then afterwards to see all the comments roll through. So thank you so much for all of those people. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, guys, and that bell so you're notified every Monday night at 6 p.m. West Coast time. So that's a little easier on the East Coast, guys. For a very long time, really appreciated everybody. Can't say that enough. Appreciated everybody who would stay up till 11 or 12 o'clock at night just to kick it with me when I'm relaxing at 8. So I appreciate that effort. But make sure you hit that like button, guys. It definitely helps drive views. Definitely helps everybody right here. And this grows all together. But like I said, welcome back to the Honda Recap. What's up to everybody in Premiere? Happy Memorial Day. You guys are watching this right now, so we are ending Memorial Day. What are you guys doing? I know there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world right now. Some places you can do stuff, other places you can't do stuff. It's weird that I can actually say that and not just, you know, be lying. But yeah, some of you are at beaches, some of you are not. Some of you are actually eating inside of restaurants because you're like, why not? So what's up? What'd you guys do? How you guys doing? Happy Memorial Days. Make sure to say what's up to your favorite veteran. Thank you for what you do. And everybody who has been in the service or have been in the military, thank you for your service. Thank you for doing it. Definitely happy Memorial Day, guys. With that said, last week I said, what did you guys think? FG2, FA5, a lot of people out there were saying, you know, it was kind of a toss-up. Not too many people were in there, were one-sided, but FA5 definitely, I think, captures everybody's hearts, and I think the sedan is really cool, because obviously we have the FK8 four-door sedan. It's kind of like the pinnacle. It is a Type R. FA5, one of the last true K-series, and it was in a sedan. So really awesome to see how they were doing that. Anyways, this week I wanted to get into a topic that's kind of a little weird to talk about, but I kind of wanted to throw that out anyways, which is build your car for you with the parts that you really want. And I don't know, over the past couple days and the past couple times through this entire thing, obviously follow a lot of companies and I follow a lot of people out there, and I start to see the ability for a lot of people to be able to buy a whole plethora of brands. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this is better, or this is better, or that's better. That's not what this is about. What this is about is wanting to encourage people to build cars the way they actually want to build them. When you open magazines or you look at reviews or you see videos and cars on YouTube and you think to yourself, like, I really would want those wheels, or I want this shifter or that knob or this gauges or these pedals or whatever it is that you may want, there's a reason you like them. It appeals to you. It checks all the boxes that you need in your car so that you can actually feel like when you're driving your car in your head, you're like, this is what I envisioned. And a lot of times I've talked and run into people who have things and they've purchased things, and I get it, it was cheap and you got it and it kind of got you there, and that's one thing. But a lot of people I see just buy instantly because it's like, you know, like, oh, I wanted it right then, and then they regret it later. I really want to find a way to maybe open a discussion. This is my discussion for the week, is how to curb the just want it now mentality that I think a lot of us get into, where we see a good deal and we buy it because we're like, oh, this is a good stopgap before I get what I really want. And in reality, what you're doing is spending money in places that you didn't really need to spend. And then now you have a part that you don't really want anymore. You have to try to resell it, and you've resaved up to get what you actually want. When if you just would have waited and had a little bit more patience to get the part that you actually wanted, you'd be much happier in the end. Now, I'm not going to sit here and give financial advice because I'm not in any position to say like I'm a financial advisor, just because like I'm terrible with money as well. And I fall victim to all of the things I'm talking to now, but it's definitely a shift that I'm trying to do in the future. And it definitely a shift as to why things in my life are taking longer than expected, because I've lived the past like 10 or 15 with the mentality of like, I'll just get this now. And I feel like that holds me back, and I feel like it could possibly hold other people back. And when I watch the way other people talk about their cars, or at the same time express their love for their car, everything in there is something that they really have wanted, and they didn't stop until they got it. And I appreciate that. And like in some ways, like kind of humbling, because it's like, all right, cool. They had the patience to build what they wanted, not what they think they needed to that time. And I think when we discussed last week or a couple weeks ago, like what happened to Underglow and Lambo doors and all that stuff, at the time that was the scene, and that's where like, oh hell yeah, I want Lambo doors. Well, right now you could want bride seats, or you could want Recaros, or you could want some status seats. And yeah, I know everything I'm talking about is like $1, $2, maybe sometimes $3,000 for those seats. And some people are like, yeah, dude, kind of excessive. You don't need $2,500 seats. But it's like, well, maybe you don't. You know, maybe they do, and they're willing to spend that money on it. And that's really cool. And I got to really, really give those people props, because it's like, cool, you knew what you wanted. You weren't going to be happy till you have it. And you were down to rock just your OEM seats that came with your car until you could get it. And a lot of us, and I've fallen victim, like I said, to this all the time, where I'll just buy something I see on Craigslist or from a friend or in some group, and I'll buy it, and then I get it, and I'm like, cool, I have these now. And so you could grow in stages, which is completely fine too. But if you already know what you want, like in your head and in your heart, you already know you want this, it's possible that saving for that is more gratifying than taking these giant leaps and steps to getting to what you want. And I feel that if we do that collectively as a whole and build to the quality of which we respect and which we want, like you go to Weekfest or you go to any of these meets and you're just kind of like, wow. And in your head, the fact that you can say that means that the time and effort that it took to get there is somewhere you want to be. So we should strive for that, right? We should want to bring the bar up that much higher, to the point where like, cool, that is where my bar is and I need to get there. And then self-reflect on, what do I need to do and how much time do I need to take to physically get there? And I know a lot of thing is monetarily, but a lot of thing is also time. And so again, that's something that I've been trying to work on too, is trying to find time, have patience, and actually execute, instead of just kind of like just half-assing my way into it, you know? And things are going a little slower, but I'm happier with the result. And one of the caveats that has come from this is seeing the rise in credit-based purchases that I see from, you know, a good amount of vendors. And I'm just kind of like, cool, places like Affirm aren't really going to help you. They let you make payments on things that you want. But again, if you're making payments on things that you think you want and not what you actually want, you're paying like a bunch of interest and giant payments on something. And then by the time you spread out your payments to like 6 months, you get what you have now. You paid it off. You've probably added like $50 to $100 to $300 on interest. And then now you're like, you have what you want. And now you're still in your head like, I wish I had this. And this could be all bullshit. This could be not true. You could be like, no, dude, I spent that money because that's what I wanted. And that's maybe not who I'm talking to, but I know that's who I was before. And so maybe out there collectively, we can just be like, cool, instead of buying this product for $800 when I really want something that's $1,200, it's not that far off if it's maybe 2, 3, or 4 more months out. But if you use things like Affirm or even PayPal credit will just be like, yeah, 6%, or no, I'm sorry, 6 months with 0% financing, as long as you pay it in full by 6 months. That's basically a little bit more because you're not going to pay interest on it. But if you already know you can pay it off, you just kind of want it now and it is what you want, then that's kind of a better route. I feel like other places, and I think Affirm specifically, I don't know, is just like you pay a little bit more interest for it. You can definitely have it now, but I just encourage people that when it comes to like buying parts, make sure that you're buying what you want. Because if you're not buying what you want, like end game products, then you're basically spending a lot of money you don't need to be spending, right? Like, that's just how credit works. And again, this isn't like some crazy financial speech. Is really what I'm trying to get at is we should be building cars, and I really want people to collectively build cars that they really want to build, that they respect, that they want to be able to be like, this is what I have when I close my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, when you get in bed at night and you're getting all tucked in and you close your eyes and you're driving your little car in your dreams, I do it. But you can sit there and just be like, I have everything I've ever wanted. That is a bar that I think a lot of people miss out on getting to. And I think if we collectively make the choice to spend the money where we want to spend it or where we should be spending it, and by should be, I mean like buying parts that you trust, respect, and actually want to give money to, that would be a better course of action as far as where we can collectively bring the community and the builds. There's a lot of quality parts and there's a lot of parts that aren't really that great. And I mean, they're out there and you can like them and they can get you to where you want to be. But again, I can't stress this enough. If your brain, your heart, your soul, and your whole like enthusiasm as an enthusiast for automobiles is sitting there and you're like, actually, I would have rather had this, save your money. Make a better choice. Build the car that you want, not the car that, you know, you feel like if I have this, I can fit in like I modded my car. No one cares if you've modded your car. I think a lot of people care that you love what you built. And when you collectively hang out with a group of people that love what they built and they put their passion into what they have and what they've created, you can feel it like just like collectively. You're standing around with your buddies and you're all in love with what you guys built. That is dope. But if you ever have doubt in what you've built, then it's kind of like maybe you need to take a step back and reassess what you're doing, because I don't want you to fall out of the hobby. I don't want you to not be enthused about what you're doing. You could have the car you love with a bunch of things you don't really want in there, and then you're just kind of like, and you're always driving around in doubt. If you're driving your car and you constantly feel like I could have better, then you should reassess what you're doing, because that way you can keep your enthusiasm up and in the end game, not waste hella money, you know? And again, like, I'm not trying to waste hella money, or I'm not trying to say spend here or spend there. At the root of what I'm trying to say is I feel like as a collective, as Honda enthusiasts or automotive enthusiasts as a whole, we should push to buy products that we really believe in from people that we really believe in, and just be very extremely passionate and happy about the products that we're putting in our car. Because there's that meme right now that says when you get out of your car and you lock it, if you don't look back at your car, then you have the wrong car. There's some meaning to that. There is a memes, there are jokes, but as you're driving, if you constantly feel like you shouldn't have what you have, like I wish I had this, go and get that. Fight for it, work for it, save for it, do what you need to do to get it. And on the far other end of the spectrum, maybe don't go out past your means on all these abilities to buy parts that you want on all these credit channels, and it be not the car or not the part that you want. You're spending more money. You're giving money to, you know, you're giving more money to the company for the part than you're actually getting. And the company who sold it to you isn't getting the money. Like the bank is, like Affirm is, PayPal is, all these other companies are like taking little chunks of your money, and you're not really happy about what you're getting. I get it's a weird rant, and I get it's not really like a usual topic, but it kind of is, because I really just want people to love what they built. And as long as more people can love what they built and they're enthusiastic about it and they're supporting people that are creating things, that are making things, and companies and brands that they support, as a whole, in the scene, in the community, as enthusiasts, we can grow stronger, and it's a more tight-knit community. And I really am loving the fact that there are a lot more vendors and a lot more companies that are starting to kind of grab onto social media, whether it be video, pictures, forums, whatever it may be, and showing you what it's like to make these products and what they have to do to make them, what they do for the community, and who they are as people, because it's starting to bring the consumer and the creators a little bit closer, and so it makes brands tighter. It makes you want to make these purchases because you want to support the end person, whether it's the company that they put together to be able to allow you to purchase these things, or things that they make in-house. And I really love the fact that there's a lot of companies that are just really big on only making things, not really reselling or wholesaling other products. I believe everybody has the ability to wholesale or drop ship, and that's completely fine, because we need somebody to be able to collectively help us. But if we don't have the mom and pop shops out there that are willing to sit down and fabricate and weld and take people's like ideas and make it an ability, and then find a way to mass produce it on a scale that like now you can get it, that is what we need more in this community. Like, we need to get back to like more garage built things, you know what I'm saying? Because at that point, it's bringing the enthusiasts and the consumers together. And by consumers, I mean us, the enthusiasts. If you see something you like and someone's making it, reach out to them. See how much it is. If you can't purchase it now, think about getting it later, or at least promoting it. It's super free, guys. Instagram or here on YouTube, it's super easy to be like, look at this thing someone's making. It's awesome. Push it out to your channel. Because like I said, in like my own videos and other things, like a lot of people that are focused on creating don't have the time to promote. And if all it takes for you to do is share it and say, yo, this thing person A is making is legitimate, and you throw it up on your Instagram stories, or you throw it up on your Facebook or your posts, you open it up to your 100, 200, or 300 or 3,000 followers that you have who have no idea that this person has been in the garage for 6 months just inventing. You know what I'm saying? So to kind of wrap all this up, I maybe get more comments at the end of this video of how you think as a community and how enthusiasts we can help bring the community together as far as quality parts, vendors, and how to help people understand to build their dreams or build the cars that they really want, not the cars they think other people are gonna like. You know what I mean? You can like whatever brands you want, and as long as when you're driving your car, you are really happy about what you have and you do not feel like I should have bought this, you are on the right track. But if you end up driving something and then you see someone else driving their car and you're just like, damn, I should have built that, then you know what? That's totally fine. Reassess what you're doing, love what you're doing, and then just make a plan. Make a plan to get there, you know what I mean? And the fact that we have other people building cars is awesome, and seeing other brands and just seeing how other people building their stuff, like I also talked about, track, stance, camber, whatever it is, we need everybody to build cars their way, to open everybody else's eyes at the possibilities so that you can maybe be like, I don't like this, I really like that. And then you can shift and just start to expand the community and bring everybody that much closer. So again, to re-wrap this up, I really want everybody to start building cars that they are proud of, that they are proud to park, to look at, and just enjoy for themselves, because that is what enthusiasts is all about. And also, throw down in the comments right now how you think vendors, fabricators, and garage-built people can, or companies, can get into the social sphere even though they don't have time. How, from a consumer standpoint, do you think they can get in front of your eyeballs with the limited amount of resources and time that they have? You're out there constantly looking. You have your ways. Everybody's good at Google Food. They know how to jump on the internet. I'm looking for this, or I need this on Instagram. Well, a lot of people who are working constantly, fabricating, making, and building their own brands and companies aren't always knowledgeable on how to get in front of their consumers' eyeballs. So in the comments right now, I want you to basically say, hey, if you're making something, this is how I look for parts, and these are things that I'm always looking for. And maybe we can help the vendors out there shift their perspective and shift their marketing abilities to be like, okay, that's where you are. I need to get in front of you, and this is how you say I can do it. Because I really want to help everybody kind of shift their marketing abilities any way it's possible. And I feel like if you're watching this video right now, you are 100% collectively the Honda world. And if we're looking at our Honda vendors who don't have time to sit there and be like, how do I get in front of them? Show them in the comments, if we can right now, what you'd like to see and where you are actually looking. And maybe collectively we can kind of grow this all together. All right, guys, with that said, I wanted to jump right into this recap right here, go over some of the stuff that's happened in the last week, and I wanted to kick this off with Chris Sadowski, because he's back out there in the DA, the K20A2 DA, giving it a little wash, hasn't taken it out there in a while. A lot of him has been focused on his Miata, which is actually pretty hot boy, and I really like that about it. We've got the Kevlar frames, he painted it white. I sent him some purple flake, I think he had some red flake, painted it all himself. I think he's working on AC stuff. I could be wrong about that, but in this latest video, he's talking about what he wants to do with the Del Sol. He still has it. The original B20V that was in his DA is now in the Del Sol. He put a little spoolie boy on it. Definitely still enjoys it, but I think he doesn't really know what he wants to do with it yet, because the Miata and the Del Sol have always had a weird kind of friend-hate ship going on, because, you know, I really feel if they made the Del Sol rear-wheel drive, it would have absolutely competed with the MR2 and the Miata at the same time. But the Del Sol stuck true to Honda's dreams and just the way they build things, so they went front-wheel drive, and it's definitely a contender. But Chris is trying to figure out what he wants to do with it. I think he wants to turn up the boost, get it more track-oriented, because that's definitely, Chris is a more back-road track-oriented guy. So I'm really excited that you still want to give love to that car, man, and I'm excited to see what choices you make to get it back going in that direction. Following that, we got a huge thing I want to talk about, and that is OldSols coming out with Suntops, aka OG. Don't really want to use this word anymore because it's no longer around. Let's be honest, Ameripole tops. A long time ago, Del Sols used to have Lexan plexiglass roof tops because Del Sols have Targa tops. They come off, they go into a racking situation in the trunk, but those were being made starting to get phased out. The community started to get a little weird. The owner didn't really want to do anything anymore. It kind of got old. They were actually pretty expensive. Old Souls had the ability to come up on this brand, on this product, and since they be kind of becoming one of the bigger Del Sol brand and community builders out there, they were able to purchase it. And as of right now, we starting to see a V.5 or V1.0 of the return of the sun top. This one that he's showing you right now, I believe, is blue, but from the outside has a black finish. But when you're in the car and you're driving, you get to look up at the sun, at the stars, wherever you are driving, and see through it, which is one thing the Del Sol is just, it always needed. You know, like T-tops were glass. I think MR2 might have glass. I might be wrong about that, but it would be really cool if you could go and look through your target top and you're like, yo, I can see out of this. And that's really what Old Souls is trying to accomplish right now with the sun tops. I'm really excited that you were able to take it, figure out how to recreate it, and you're now on the verge of creating one products that, like, I really loved someone made out there for the Del Sol, and you're carrying the torch, and I really appreciate that, man, because, like, we get no love. So Old Soul Sun Tops on our way. If you watch this video, it's a 1.0 of what it looks like. Amazing fitment. I'm very excited. And if you're a Del Sol enthusiast, you should also be ecstatic. Following that, we got Eric the Car Guy Channel 1. In his latest video, he talks about the Hondas he doesn't actually like. And from the start of it, you're kind of like, okay, this is a touchy subject. And he even says that. And if you watch the video, he kind of talks about the S2000 being a car he doesn't like. And at first, I was like, hey, how dare you, sir? It's an S2000. But as he kept talking, it kind of made a little bit more sense because the S2000 did end the Integra. It did end the RSX. Well, not really end the RSX. We got the RSX, but the Type R ended there. EKs ended there. The Civic lineup kind of lost its edge as front-wheel drive sport compact cars. We got the Integra, we got the GSR, we got the ITR, and then it ended. And then we got the S2000. I'm not shitting on the S2000. I had one, I love it, and I would love to have another one, but I started to understand that the S2000 was definitely a shift away from the front-wheel drive sport compact car. And that's, it's a weird way to look at it. When I talked to my buddy about it, I was like, you know what? I understand him, but at the same time, I think the S2000 was more the cherry on top of where Honda had come. We got all of the front-wheel drive 90s legends that we know and we love, and it pushed all the limits, and the S2000 was like, we can do this again. Rear-wheel drive, like the haters say, here is the platform, and we have the S2000. And while it did most likely end the comparative heritage of front-wheel drive sport compact in Hondas, but it was the cherry on top of, like, we can also do this. And of course, Acura came out. We got the RSX, we got the S, and then we got the Type R, obviously in Japan, not really here, but at least it carried on. He went on and talk about other cars he didn't like, some early Preludes, things were kind of weird there, but it was also really weird to know that you could create a video that says the Hondas you don't like, and he started it with an S2000. I definitely encourage everybody to go watch Eric the Car Guy. 1, that channel is more about talking and discussions. 2, obviously, is more the DIY because Eric the Car Guy was always a Honda guy. But definitely head over there, watch the video, let me know what you guys think. Are there Hondas that you actually didn't like? Following that, we got in the DA, as I talked about last week, he overwent, got all the bunch of parts. They pulled the F20B that was out of the DA to get it ready for an H23 and got full interior in this DA. The guy's working fast. His son is going to have a legitimate car, and I'm just really enthusiastic about the fact of how fast this guy works. You got to give it to him, right? The khaki Civic is still going. He had a sedan. I think his daughter got an Audi. He got another car, and now the DA. Oh, and then the BMW. And that one kind of got built fairly quick as for what it is. He wanted a kind of fun little slider car, and he had that. But like I said, I'm really excited for this DA. The H23 is going to be legit, and you're taking your time, and now it's a full-fledged car with full interior. Following that, we've got Bodie Vision hanging out with Betty White, his old Accord hatchback. You know, you never see these cars, you never see them running, and then he had one that was running, so when I found out he was going to take it down, I got kind of sad. And I'll tell you why I got sad. You do not see these. You got pop-ups, I think, you got a hatchback, you got Accord, and you got old Hachiroko style that we don't really get at all or ever really got. But Adam's out there putting a V8 in it, and it's just been a really awesome build to see what you've been up to, dude. All the fabrication using the front towers, BC making you custom suspension, and now just getting that motor together to get in the car. It's one hell of a build, man, and I'm really excited to the fact that you're really going to push the limits and have a very, very one-of-a-kind car. Following that, we got EG Chris 92. If you know this guy and even following him, he's got a K-swapped EG hatchback. He's done a lot of builds explaining what it took to get in it, how he built it, what he has in it. And right now he's building a budget K24, I believe, for an EJ1. So I'm really excited for this because, as most of you know, EJ1 is my unicorn. I'd love to have one. I can't seem to keep one, but if I ever find one again, I might have to spend the money if it's like actually really cherry, because I can't just keep buying these junkers all the time. But Chris, thank you so much for what you're doing. K24 build, showing us what you're doing, cleaning it, how you're getting parts, and just making sure that it is the best bang for buck way to K-swap this car. Following that, we got Antoine, aka Big Murph, but we won't go into that. Those are the old times. We're not talking about Antoine right now. His buddy Bruce, K24, swapped his Integra, gave him a ride in the right-hand drive Integra. I think it's right-hand drive. Is it right-hand drive? I'm pretty sure it's right-hand drive. At the end of this video, may it be short, this man has converted. Right now, he's got a B20 VTEC. He wanted to build a spare B20 VTEC. Took one ride. He's going K. Says it's the way. I'm really excited for you, man. He said, you know what? I'm going to build another B series before I go K series. Now he's going K series. I'm really excited for this build, man, because your EG is coming along. You're having a lot of fun with it. A lot of tuning, a lot of fun, a lot of tuning, a lot of fun. It's reliable. And if you keep the same stuff that you're doing right now and go K series, I expect the same. Next up, we got Honda Pro Jason and a little company called Password JDM. A little behind the scenes a while ago, he went out to Password JDM, showed you all along everything that goes on behind the scenes at Password JDM. We all know them as a company. They build a lot of things. They sell a lot of things. A lot of people used to buy their, their intakes, aka the whale penis, giant carbon intake that made your, just VTEC, crack. You know what I'm saying? But it's really awesome to find out that Jason went there behind the scenes, showed you all the CNC machines, how they make all their carbon here in the US in that warehouse. It's really awesome to know that when you buy from them, it started here, it was made here, their own designs, making all that carbon themselves. So definitely check out Honda Pro Jason's. One of his latest videos, he's been putting out a lot more videos lately of all the old stuff that he's been doing, even though he's been on the road. Really cool to see all the parts Password JDM is making, wheels, some other off-brand parts, all CNC stuff, and the carbon. Following that, we got Young Static, another episode for the Budget K-Series track CRX for his K-Series CRX. Did I repeat that? I'm saying it again. Anyways, talked to a subscriber, got a 4-to-1 header, and it's really cool to see how you're going to get it in the engine bay. He's having to do a lot of sketchy stuff, raising the whole chassis up with weird blocks that are almost half falling off because he has to notch all the subframes, well, not all of them, but at least one of them, so that way the K-to-1 header will fit with the trans mount going K-Series, trying to fit that engine in a CRX. You got to do a lot of massaging with the body, but that's something that Dana is definitely accustomed to. He's probably built 743,000 EFs in his time. So this is not a hard one, but I do know the fact that he puts the same love, care, and compassion to every single build. So I'm really excited for this, dude. All right, last but not least, we have Sticky Dill Joe back at it with the vlogs again. Quality, the same. Builds, the same. It's just impeccable, the highest quality as we go back to what I was saying about going to shows and being like, holy shit, I want that. Joey shows us a lot of builds that are like that, and it's really cool that there's a lot of shops right now still holding it down out there, the essential businesses, making it work, and I feel you there, because we all need our cars. Doesn't matter if they're show cars or not, we need them. That's going to keep us going in life and heart. So really cool to see behind the scenes Joey going around to different shops, all the cool builds that are being built, and the caliber of builds that we get to see on this channel is amazing. So thank you for consistently making these videos, and I know you're streaming a lot of them on Twitch right now, which is cool because a lot of people get to watch them with you, dude, and that's really fun also. All right, guys, that's it for this episode of the Honda Recap. I'm still bringing you segments, still want to talk recap, still want to talk about segments in the front. These are kind of for me, too. I'm not going to lie, my way of kind of venting and talking with you guys, getting your guys' thoughts and stuff, so I'm really enjoying sitting here making these videos, getting them longer, having more fun, hanging out with you guys, So in the comments, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up and bell so you're notified every Monday night at 6 p.m. West Coast time when this airs, and make sure to hit in the comments what you guys think vendors can do to get in front of the consumer's eyeballs. I know that's a weird ask, but really I'm focused on the guys that are out there fabricating, welding, and building businesses out there in their garages, and a lot of these guys just don't have the time. So if you know where they can go to kind of sidestep and kind of shortcut, hey, how do I get in front of these people? Let them know. Let them know, because I really want to help them, and I really want to help you guys get quality parts that you want, deserve, and just let's raise the bar, guys. Collectively, let's raise the bar of our builds, of the products we buy, of the companies that are being built. Collectively, let's work together. Conversate. Fabricators can fabricate. You guys have ideas. We want things. As long as we can all on the same plane respectively say, hey, I want this, I'm willing to pay for this, and they're willing to be like, I will make it if you do that, here it is. That's the perfect circle, guys. That's the harmony I want in general and in business. So hit me up in the comments. How can they find you? What would you want? What would you love to see happen? Make sure you guys hit up Thehondavlogs.com/shop. Pick yourself up a shirt, hoodie, or sticker. Anything you guys want to support the channel. If you want to like this video, that's plenty for me. I really appreciate all of you. I will see you guys next week. Peace.